today here on All In, we get to feature a gentleman who is in a profession that sadly isn't quite as prevalent as it used to be, but for the people in his community, he's been there for them for a long time, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon. We're talking bookstores and so much more today here on the show. The name of the group we're chatting with is Malik Books, and you'll find out the reason it's called Malik Books because my guest is Malik Muhammad right here on the show. Hey, Malik, how are you, buddy?
Hi.
Good to see you.
Likewise. Hi.
My first bookstore, right? I love this. You know, we chatted a little bit a while ago. With all the shows I've done, I've never interviewed anyone that owns their own bookstore, so this is going to be pretty exciting. But let me back up a second. Before we get to the bookstore, was little Malik back in the day, were you that kid that was always a bookworm? Did you always like books as a kid, or did you find out later in life it was a thing?
No, I'm like most kids. We don't like reading, but I'm trying to turn that around.
Good for you.
I was a late bloomer.
A late bloomer, but you know what? You being a late bloomer and doing what you do is helping the little ones maybe become early bloomers like we all should have been in the first place. Yes, I'm putting me on that lump as well. But you've had the bookstore now since 1990. Now, they told me I wouldn't have a lot of math to do on my job. That's over 30 years you've been in the bookstore business. Tell me about day one, back when you got started. Why did you decide that you wanted to go that route and open a bookstore?
You know, I get that question all the time. Malik Books is just the outgrowth of what we need in our community to make a difference and to make a change. You know, books changed my life, and we wanted to change other people's lives, including our community. So it's just an outreach and an outgrowth of my love for self-esteem, self-awareness, because that's what books did for me. It gave me a renewed confidence, a belief in self, and the pride that I need to be successful, because you know you have to love yourself, you have to believe in yourself, and you know and you can read a lot of books, and that's central in terms of being successful, is that you got to start with your view of yourself. And so books helped me identify who and what I was and am, and it helped me to see that we need more literature in these communities.
Well, I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. And I need to ask you, obviously I haven't been to your store before, and I'm just curious, do you specialize in any certain types of books, or are you all over the place?
No, we have a specific niche. We specialize in African American and diverse and cultural books in our community. It's been our niche for 30 years. We've served our community. We focus on 100%. Because children books are 100% of our future. So we focus on a lot of children books because, you know, change starts with the young. You know, it's easy to teach the youth than it is to teach, you know, us little older ones. So we have a lot of beautiful, diverse, and cultural and African-American children books here at Malik's. And we have a lot of hit bestsellers and hot and conscious and historical books here at Malik Books.
Well, and the other thing that you have is access to pretty much any book anybody wants. Talk to me about that. You can do some special orders for people as well, can't you?
Yeah, we have access to 12 million books. So we don't have it on our website, we don't have it in store, we can order any book. As long as it's in print, we can order that book for you and ship it here or ship it to the store or ship it to your home.
You know, you're such a big part of the community there and have been for some time, but I want to make sure everybody understands it's not just books. It's all about the black culture and everything, but along those lines, in addition to the books, you have a variety of gifts to offer as well. Give me a bullet point. Give me some of the cultural gifts that you have available.
Well, you know, Malik Books is more than just a bookstore, right? We use affirmations on gifts in order to lift up our community, because a positive view of self is a direct result of how our community should reflect. So we have a lot of gifts, and they have a lot of positive affirmation. We got tote bags, we got mugs, we got steel bottles, we got cups, as well as backpacks and puzzles. So we have a variety of Afrocentric gifts here at Malik Books, and we truly give voice to the voiceless, whether it's in a book or whether it's on a gift.
That's outstanding, and it just gets the name out there, and it just people, hey, where'd you get that? Well, Malik Books, and they come in the door, and they came in because they saw somebody with a tote bag, and they go walking out with a book that could very well change their lives. You know, the other thing you have going on there, again, part of the community, you're a gathering place. Over the years, I can't imagine how many different events and book signings and whatnot you've had in there. Give me a little insight there, a little historical perspective of how you've done with events.
Well, over the years, we've hosted top bestsellers of the day. We've done book signings, we've done lectures, we've done seminars, workshops, we've hosted book drives, we've raised money for the Crusader Scholarship Fund, where we try to give money to freshmen entering college. So we've done a variety of events, and it's all centered around, books, literature, and the upliftment of our community through literature.
And I mean, it's just beautiful. And being around for 30 years now, I don't mean to make you sound old, and I promise you, I'm older than you. But you have to be the point now to where there's been multi-generations now, meaning there was a kid that came through in 1990. He's probably brought his kid through there now. Is that fair enough?
Yes. I've had many incidents where the next generations have come in and said, man, I've been coming to this bookstore for decades. Now they're bringing in their children. And so that's really touching. It's very inspiring, and it helps me to really, love what I do and do it with a passion, simply because, you see how it has affected not only this generation, but the next generation. So that's just a wonderful experience when they come in and bring the next generation in to Malik Books.
So tell me something. When a little kid comes walking in the door the first time, there's a relatively good chance he's never been in a bookstore before. Tell me about those big old eyes, what they look like when they get to looking around, because they've never seen anything like that. Does that make you feel pretty good? Just that special moment?
Absolutely. That's one of the most rewarding things of coming to work, is to see the experience and the transformation that I see on not only the parents but their kids when they come in. It's full of just explosive energy, positive energy, where it's just, words can't express the thankfulness and the joy that we experience, both in the customer as well as us here at Malik Books. Because sometimes, when things happen throughout the day, one of the things that lifts me up is when a customer come in and start catching the holy dose, starts just saying, man, thank you for being here, or just start crying, and we've had all of that take place here at Malik Books.
Well, it's just fantastic, but I want to back up a sec, because you mentioned something that's very important. I'm bringing it on back. Talk to me a little bit more about this scholarship you're doing, because I know that's very important to you.
Yes. When I went to college, I went to USC and graduated. My grandmother sent me money, and her name was Crusader Praise Scott. She sent me money every month by selling candy and cake and sweet potato pies. Well, that was the scholarship fund is an outgrowth of what my grandmother did for like 40 years. And so when she passed away, my mother started the Crusader Praise Scott Scholarship Fund. And what that does is give scholarships, and we've given over 20 scholarships over the last 5 years to freshmen in college. And that's just an achievement. And, because we collect donations. We sell shirts. Like, we got a fundraiser going on right now. We selling T-shirts to raise money for the Crusader Praise Scholarship Fund. And so it's just an outgrowth of the love that my grandmother had for education. She helped me through college, and we just trying to help the next generation today.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's also a great tribute to your grandmother, but it's also a tribute that you offer back to the community that you love so much, and I know they've got to appreciate that. I mean, it's just outstanding. I appreciate you sharing that story, especially. I was beating my brains out trying to figure out what was the name of the scholarship. I get it now. After your very own grandmother. She was there to help you, but you know what? She's still in her own way there to help the next generations and the generation after that, through her beloved grandson. I think that's a really sweet tribute you've offered. Well, you got a great thing going there. I mean, it's been 31 years now. You've seen the highs, you've seen the lows, but mostly you've seen a lot of kids come in and change their lives for the first time they walk into your bookstore, and now to the point where they come back all those years later bringing their kid with them to keep it going right there in the community. It's a beautiful story. I appreciate you taking time to share it with us today. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. Take care.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Malik Books. We also have a website, malikbooks.com, and we really appreciate this opportunity to share our story with your audience.
Thank you, sir.